with anything now that we've learned from chapter 3 is, one, our worries from the second chapter immediately with our main characters being completely like overpowered and strong. That's out the window. And another thing is that we might have already been introduced to the character where Shinobu Taku like may be going straight again for the Sinbad route, since everyone loved like Sinbad from Magi, and it's like, no, this is gonna be your badass. This is gonna be the character that you go behind and you're like, man, this character right here. And that is like Takeda. And yes, I think now, like, if you guys know anything about like kind of that Sengoku era, kind of anything about that, then you can kind of paint a picture about how some of the other characters are gonna be in the rest of this series. Like, and still, I'm gonna say it, yes, the bikes are still fucking weird and stupid, but I'm not gonna lie, I do like they are Kamen Riders though, so the Bushis are Kamen Riders, and that's a little hard to let go. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things going on right here in this chapter, but like, definitely, yeah, we'll have to go and talk about as we talk more about as we finally meet some Bushis, we meet Shingen, and not the fact that Shinobu just keeps giving me these panels of this really crazy, like, god thing, and it looks really goddamn cool, I'm not gonna lie, and there was some stuff to take away from this chapter. So, with Orient now, with this one, we still got a pretty, like, beefy chapter for the most part. This was, like, I'd like to say, like, 30 pages or so, like, and I'm glad that it was, like, a lot of them where it was like, hey, let's go, like, form like a band on Bushi, and it's like they finally, Musashi, like, on Kojiro are like, no, we are finally accepted where we're going right now, let's do this. And it's like the band of Bushi that we see that arrive when they're like, yeah, we've done it, like that, we take care of it. And this is what made me happy, is that it was not just like one or two people that arrived with like the Bushi. We're talking about an entire like unit here, an entire like cavalry unit going straight in to take on this thing, because guess what? They couldn't take this thing down on their own. These two like complete inexperienced people, it's like, you do realize, and they're talking to it, it's like, you're wrong, we're Bushi, we're the one that killed it. And it's like, do you really think and all that, like, something like that will die from a flesh wound like that? Like, that is not enough to take care of it as it starts rising up like that. And I'm like, that's kind of like, that's slightly terrifying. Okay. And like, they're like, don't worry though, and all that, it isn't your problem anymore, we'll deal with it for you, so go and take care of it and all that, like, we'll deal with it, you just go and hide. And we see like this thing finally able to fight, and it releases these entire rings like going around it as it does like this kind of like monk style, like kind of like praying. And then when it puts like all these things through fire, it is nuts. There is just this single panel of it like going through all of these holes and lava's coming out, crystals, it's got a bow in one hand. Like, you're starting to see where it's like, this is the strength of one of these Kishins. This is like what is a threat level like catastrophe. And it's like, if we let one of these things like go out there, then it's like, you know, what the heck. And even Kojiro's like, how are we even supposed to fight that? Like, what, are you serious? Like, we were complete bitch. And he even gets rougher because he literally lands where a lot of them were just burnt to the ground. It's like, and it wasn't a dignified death. It wasn't anything like where it's like they got slashed apart. It's like, no, they got Terminator 2, like as just ash. That's all they are. They're just an ash on the floor. I'm like, oh, that's really bad. And I'm not gonna lie, this is the one time where I'm like, Musashi, you're being an absolute idiot right now. And he's like, but this is the matter of pride with him, where he's like, he's obsessed with this guy, and he's actually getting like set on fire during this, where it's like, that he's upset. It's like, they're stealing from, this is supposed to be our big first step and all that. And it's like, I don't want them to steal all the glory. This was supposed to be kind of our thing. And it's just like, and he's like smiling through like the fire and the flames, and he's enjoying it. And he's like, you know, that's our first step to like making our dream come true. And it's like, we can't let this go down. It's like, as like the more those little tiny cat ones get in the way, and it's like, no, get the hell out of our way. It's slamming through all of them. And I'm glad that we saw Kojiro, like, he was actually taking on some of the little ones himself just with his sword. I was happy that it's like, okay, he's not just going to be the full muscle on there. And it's just like, although he was looking at him, he's like, this is clearly, like, there's a clearly different, like, level from me and Musashi right now, because he is swinging down that pickaxe like it's nothing. And then when we get to see like more of it going down, it's like, because they've got a visit, like a vision of like what's happening right now, and it's like, oh, what's that miner doing? He seems to be doing pretty well right now. As we go to the Takeda camp, and we see a bunch of characters who all go back. It's like, oh, the captain's back. Oh, I can't wait to see him. And it's like all these people saying like, you know, we did tell that, like, you know, that boy to kind of like get out of there. And it's like, you know, what is he doing like that? And it's like, no. Like even there, it's like, look, we need to get him out there now, Tora. Like, we need to do that. It's like, you go too far and all that. We should abandon them and all that. Like, we told them to activate, that's enough and all that. But he's like, they're like, you know, that's not it. There's no point in killing it unless the town folks survive. And besides, the Mushi got to reclaim this world. Am I right? Like that. And we see him, and it's Takeda. And then that, like, puts a little bit more of a perspective on who exactly this guy is going to be. I felt like immediately when I first saw this guy, and especially if you've ever like seen or played or watched any sort of Sengoku video, you always like Takeda, Shingen is normally played as like a very justice, like kind of like very proud kind of warrior, normally portrayed more as a good guy, or normally the old sickly old man, like for the most part. Like he's always been like a smart general, and it shows that, okay, then we're also gonna be having Takeda. Then if we're going for Sengoku, then clearly one of the big bads at some point, or maybe the big bad, is probably going to be Nobunaga Oda. We're going to have Uesugi Kenshin, Masamune Date, Hideyoshi at some point. Like, we can go down the entire list of every single like war general that we're going to be having, or like Bushi general, like at some point. But it's like, we see that it's like, when you see like a tiny bit of like his platoon, and there's one guy in that group that really reminds me of like one of like, I'd like to say it's like one of like Aladdin's like father's like kind of group. Well, I don't want to get into too much into that, obviously, since that's Magi spoilers, and I know some people here haven't seen Magi, but it's like there is one guy, the guy with the bandana. It's like you could definitely tell it's like, oh, it's that guy with like the piercing through like his mouth and all that, the big hoop, and it's like, I'm glad that it's like I'm seeing these characters. Like, I'm not seeing same face for the most part, with the exception of kind of like Takeda, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad, because I was really worried for a second. It's like, are we just going to get the Seven Seas Alliance again? Is this what we're going to be getting? And it's like, are we going to be repeating the same steps for the most part and all that? But it's like, we're seeing this, and he's like, you know, no matter what, it's like, this kid and all that, he's like, he's naive, but he's putting his stake, like, staking his life on the line so he can't get up, and he's like, you know what? I kind of like that kid and all that for the most part. So, and that's when the chapter ends. Like, we just ended up at that point, and I'm like, one, as I was saying at the start of the chapter, I am glad for the most part that it wasn't Musashi and Kojiro taking this down. It's taking a whole effort, because this is clearly something against them. I'm liking that now this is more a teaser, whereas like this is the sort of things that you got to deal with to come, and look how many of these people it's taken to deal with them. But also as well, we now understand where exactly the cavalry thing's coming from. I guess this is their version of the horse, because Shingen Takeda, that was his specialty, like back in the day, is that he was most known for, like his like kind of the mounted combat, his mounted like units that he had. That was his specialty on there. So it makes me wonder what the others are like. What is Kenshin going to be like? What is like Date going to be like? I like, since like Kenshin was known as the god of war, so it's like, is like, what is exactly he going to be like on there? And plus there's a bunch of characters and all that. I want like one character I've always liked from the Sengoku period and all that. Whenever I've seen him in any point and all that, I've always liked Keiji Maeda, so I really would like to see what their version of him is going to be like. There's like, but again, that's kind of a little bit of a worry with like some of like the Sengoku pieces and all that, and I feel like we haven't had too many things. Obviously, it's got inspiration. It's not fully going there. It's going multiple different like places, and also has a lot of religious symbolism as well, with like Hinduism and stuff. From what we see from this chapter and all that, I definitely did like what I was seeing so far. And it's like, thank you. They're not overpowered. They're not broken. And it's like, you're clearly seeing the big gap where they have to go so far. So I'm now curious exactly where the next chapter is going to be going. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. Comment section down below. Overall, I like this chapter. I liked it a lot. It took away where I was like, I was worried for the second chapter. I was like, oh no, please don't get away something like amazingly designed like this creature just out like so quickly. It's like, let us see an actual fight between this thing, and it's like, let's see how they're going to handle it, and where can we go further from this. And now we're getting introduced. But do you honestly think that Takeda is going to be our new Sinbad, or do you think he's just going to be a little pebble along the road? And also, what do you think about some of the other characters that we're going to be seeing? Are we going to be seeing obviously Oda, Uesugi, Keiji, Date, like Hideyoshi? Like, let me know what you guys think and all that. That's all from me. I'll see you guys though next time.